Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. Good morning. And today I want to talk about how narcissists are control freaks. All right. This is one of the biggest red flags that you're dealing with a narcissist is the fact that they have to control everything. And you'll really, really see it if you ever lived with a narcissist. Narcissists want to control things such as how things are done in the house, the cleaning, how you park your car in the driveway. They're concerned with where you go, who you talk to. It depends on the narcissist. Now, understand, narcissism is on a spectrum. So, the more narcissistic they are, the more they're going to need that control. They want that control and the less empathy that they have, okay? The more controlling somebody is, generally the less empathy that they're going to have as well, okay? So narcissists always want to control everything in your life. They're going to want to control where you go to eat. They're going to want to control maybe where your kids go to school. We saw this with a famous celebrity couple who, I'm not going to mention, where one of the narcissists was trying to control the other parent about where the kids go to school. They want to control everything. Now, why do narcissists have such a need for control? You got to understand this. Control is a forefront for anxiety, okay? And a lot of influencers and people don't talk about this. But the reason that the narcissist has this thirst and this need for control is because they're very, very anxious people. They're, unstable people in the sense that they never feel complacent. They never feel happy. They never feel fulfilled. They're never happy, never fulfilled, never satisfied. So they need to control everything to ease their anxieties. And this is why they are so horrible to live with, okay? And the thing that you got to understand is it really depends on the type of narcissist you're dealing with that you'll see how they control. A malignant narcissist is going to control you by putting you in fear and walking on eggshells, that things will go upside down in the house, okay? They could be very violent. If you say something, let's say at the dinner tables, a plate could go flying or something like that. An overt narcissist is also very intimidating and will shout and get in your face and let you know what they think about you. They try to intimidate you and put fear in you. This is how they try to control you. Whereas a covert narcissist is going to try to control you with silence, okay? In other words, you say something they don't like, they're going to freeze you out. They're going to give you the silent treatment and make you bust, all right? This is how they control you, not to open your mouth. So they have this constant need for control, okay? And the thing that's so difficult to recognize in these people is when you first meet a narcissist, they're very accommodating. They're always trying to, please you. Oh, sure, we could go to that restaurant. Oh, sure, you want to go over here. Oh, sure, I could help you with this. They're very accommodating. A narcissist is the exact opposite of who they truly are in the beginning. They're putting on a fake act. They're trying to be so easy to get along with in the beginning because they want to win you over. And people are always trying to get back the narcissist that was from the beginning. But what they don't realize is that person was not their true authentic self. That was somebody putting on an act to win you over because they saw something in you that they wanted, okay? You were there for a purpose. So, of course, people are always the nicest in the beginning. But once they get to know you and you get to know them, that's when their true core character comes out. And that's where you're going to see the control come out. They're going to try to control things. So, you guys, a narcissist, they will try to control who you talk to. They may try to control, your relationships with your family and friends. Narcissists don't want you to have other relationships, whether it's friends or family. So depending on how controlling they are, they're going to kind of poo-poo it, all right? They're going to talk badly about these people. They're going to try to manipulate you so that you don't get close to these people because they don't want you to have a support system. But see, this is the joke of it all, because they're the ones who have the support system with their flying monkeys that they run to the minute they have a fight with you. They're running to their flying monkeys, but they're telling you, oh, your mother was never there for you. Your family's not there for you, because they don't want you to be close to these people, because your supporters are what gives you your strength, okay? So narcissists don't want you to have a support system. This is their way to be able to control you better when you're alone, isolated, and codependent on them. So what's a classic sign of a controlling person? They want to know everything. See, narcissists want to know everything that's going on. Like, for instance, let's say you have a conversation with a good friend of yours, all right? Or you have a conversation with one of your parents. That narcissist is going to want to know everything that you've talked about. They're going to ask you, oh, so what'd your mother have to say? Oh, what does she think about that? They want to know what's going on. Why? Because they want to control the situation. They want to make sure that these outside parties are not influencing you. They're also afraid of outside parties like your friends and family and your support system, because they're afraid that they will see the narcissist for who they are and tip you off to that. That's another reason they want to break that, that line of bondage, not bondage, but they want to break that connection that you have with your friends and family. So they're going to want to keep tabs on you. A controlling narcissist will always want to keep tabs on you. They're going to want to know where you are, what you're doing, who you're talking to, because they don't trust, all right? They don't trust because they're devious. They think that you're doing something that they're doing. They're paranoid. Narcissists are very, very paranoid. They always think that, you're cheating, you're lying, you're doing things behind their back because that's what they do. So they're assuming that you're doing the same thing. That's why they're always one step ahead, because they're assuming that you are trying to get over on them. That's their greatest fear, you guys. Their greatest fear is that you're going to get over on them. So this is why the narcissist is always one step ahead. In order for them to be one step ahead, they want to control everything, okay? So the big thing when you're living with them is they're going to want to control the house. Narcissists could be either big-time clean fanatics, or they could be the biggest slob in the world, but then be telling you you're the slob, okay? They control how you cook. They may tell you, oh, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to cook, or something like that. The narcissist is always portraying they are the expert in everything. When you bring up something and you try to tell them, they're going to say something like, oh, that's not true. If you talk about politics, they're going to tell you you're wrong, and they always have to top that. If you talk about religion, they're going to top that, or they're going to put down your religion. Okay, so they're always going to break your spirit. This is what a narcissist does. And they break your spirit because of control. They want to control everything. So in order to control everything, they've got to break you down. They don't want you to have power, okay? Because, when you have power and you believe in yourself and you have self-esteem, guess what? The narcissist can't control you, all right? Because you believe in yourself. So what do? They got to break you down so you doubt yourself. This is the narcissist's tool to create doubt in you, create cognitive dissonance in you, and to make you have low self-confidence, okay? So this is how the narcissist tries to control you, by creating doubt, and they do it by gaslighting as well, all right? Gaslighting is their other big tool, besides the silent treatment or getting in your face and, screaming and yelling and trying to put fear into you, Let me just bring up one thing with regard to that. When you have an argument with, let's say, an overt narcissist, and they're yelling and screaming at you, what they're going to do is they're going to wear you down to the point where you just give in to them, okay? Because you're just so tired of going back and forth with that narcissist that you're just like, yeah, okay, whatever, you're right. Because they are relentless. They're relentless. They'll keep going on and on. You don't know what you're talking about. Shut up, this, that. You're always picking on something. Oh, you're always bringing up something in the past. They'll go on. The mouth will not stop. The mouth will not stop with that overt narcissist, or malignant narcissists are like that too, to the point where they just break you down because they won't give up. They'll wear you down to the point where you finally give up because they want the control, okay? So this is why they're energy vampires as well, because they'll never, ever give in. They'll never be partial and fair. And they'll always tell you that they're wrong, okay? This is another red flag that you're always dealing with a narcissist, is that they can never admit that they're wrong. They can never take accountability. But beware, that narcissist in the beginning may pretend to take accountability for something they did wrong because they want something out of you later on. And I've seen them do that. I've seen narcissists actually apologize in the beginning because they were still after a supply. So they try to fool you by pretending that, I'm sorry I did that. I'm sorry I yelled at you. I'm sorry. Why are they doing that? Because they still want something out of you. And they're trying to show you that they could, take accountability. But that's not the real narcissist, because once that narcissist has you in a point where they feel that they got you in their pocket, that narcissist is never going to apologize and be flat out wicked and cruel with it, okay? So this is how they try to control you. And remember this too, some narcissists can be overt and covert, all right? In other words, they could be yelling and screaming at you, and they could also give you the silent treatment as well. So they could have characteristics of both type of narcissists. All right, they can fight both ways. There's and I've seen it. I've dealt with narcissists that can fight both ways. They could fight in your face, yelling and screaming, and they could also fight with the silent treatment and freezing you out and not validating you or anything like that. So these are all the ways that the narcissist needs to control you, okay? So they'll try to control, if you're living with them, they're going to control things. You're going to get on the narcissist's nerves. And then they're always going to nitpick at everything that you do, okay? Maybe you sleep late and that irritates them. What are you doing sleeping late? You should be up early. You should be throwing the laundry in. You should be cleaning. You should be out walking the dog. They always got to say something about something. They can't just live and let live. A narcissist is not about living and let living. They always, got to open their mouth and be a nitpicker. How do I know that? My father was a malignant narcissist. He used to pick on everything. He used to pick on my mother's cooking. He used to pick how we, park the cars in the driveway. He used to pick on how we close the refrigerator door. Oh, you people don't know how to close the refrigerator door. He used to tell us, we watch TV, it's scrambling our brains. He just picked on everything. And we lived in a house where we were walking on eggshells, all right? So it was all a way to control us. It was all about control, okay? So they have this constant need for control. And if a narcissist doesn't get control, they'll go crazy, all right? They will go crazy. And if you have a malignant or an overt narcissist, they can get violent with it. They could break things. They could push you. They could get you up on a wall. If you're dealing with a covert narcissist, if they're not getting their way, they will freeze you out for weeks, for months. They will smear you behind your back to your friends and family. They will triangulate and get people up against you and gang on you, okay? Because they don't get that control, okay? They don't have that control. So when you're dating somebody or you're with somebody, and let's say you're past the honeymoon stage of dating, and now, you're starting to see things, about them that are controlling, that is a red flag, okay? Maybe they're controlling you what to wear. Oh, don't wear that if you're going to, let's say, a party or something, and they want you to look good because you're making them look good. They'll be like, they're going to be judgmental. They're going to be critical. They're going to be telling you, don't wear this. Oh, if you're out with them in a group of people, they may tell you, shut your mouth, don't say too much. They may try to control you in the sense that they tell you, oh, don't tell anybody about what goes on in the relationship here. This is between us. Meanwhile, that narcissist is, behind your back, talking to everybody, every flying monkey they have. They're hypocrites. Narcissists, they're hypocrites. They say one thing and they do another. There's always a double standard. But we're talking about control here. And the thing is, when you're dealing with somebody who's constantly needs control, if they don't get that control, then there's the punishment, okay? The punishment. And one of the punishments that a narcissist will do, besides the silent treatment, besides yelling and screaming in your face, or if they're really, really angry at you, some of them will cheat on you, okay? Some of them will cheat on you when they're angry at you and they're kind of, chuckling behind their breath, knowing that they cheated on you and got back at you for a fight that you were up on them, okay? So narcissists are very dangerous in the sense that they will seek revenge. If they don't get that control or you don't stand at allegiance, there will be consequences with a narcissist. Again, narcissists don't let things go. They hold grudges. And it may not be today or tomorrow. It could be years down the line. They're going to remember how you went against them and they didn't have the control, and they're going to pay you back by, freezing you out when you need them. They love to abandon people, okay? This is the way they punish you as well. They don't include you in things. They don't include you in gatherings with friends and family. They try to isolate you. That's the covert narcissist, all right? They want to control and isolate you. This is what covert narcissists, this is how the covert narcissists, this is how wicked they are. They try to control you by making you an outsider. Covert narcissists don't unite people, they divide people, and you'll see that in in family, okay? What they'll do is they will manipulate everybody else in the family, they will butter up all the other people in the family, and they will get everybody to gang up against you and to isolate you and not include you in gatherings, okay? They want to make you the outsider. They want to make you the scapegoat, the bad apple, so that they look like the golden child. And a lot of them are the kiss-ass golden child to the head narcissist in the family, okay, which is usually the parent. So, you guys, this is how they control things, by isolating. So they have a constant need to control things. And like I said, if they don't get that control, watch out, because they're going to pay you back. So notice the people that are in your life and notice if they need to control things. Notice if they need to be the one driving the car. Do they have to always be the one driving the car? Because I knew narcissists, they always had to be the driver. Or if they didn't like to drive, they would tell that person, oh, you drive, and then they'd be criticizing every turn they make or something. But they always need the control. Or like if you're going on a vacation with them, oh my God, when you go on vacation with a narcissist, that's when you're really going to see how they control things, because they're going to call the shots where they want to stay, where they want to eat, what they want to do. They can't just go with the flow. They can't let somebody else say, well, can we go do, the rock climbing, or can we go, to the beach? Maybe they don't like no, I'm not doing that. See, a narcissist that needs control is not going to do what they don't want to do. For instance, on vacation, they just want to do what they want to do. And if they don't get their way, they'll say, well, you go, I'm not going. Okay. Just to be passive aggressive, and then maybe stay in the hotel and have a face on because they didn't get their way. Okay. So this is how they try to control things. They don't let you call the shots at all. They have to call the shots all the time. And then, if you are making a suggestion or something, they're going to poo-poo your suggestion and tell you that's not a good idea. They always have to one-up you. That's another thing that shows that you're dealing with somebody who has a thirst for control. They have to constantly one-up you. They know better than you, okay? Oh, no, let's not go there. I hear this place is better, That's control. They want to control where you go. Also, you see it in parenting, all right? God forbid have kids with a narcissist. They're going to control everything with regards to the children if you're together with them, all right? How you parent, this and that, and they'll be talking about how you parent to their toxic families, saying you're doing this with the children, you're doing that. They love to go back and criticize you and critique you. Meanwhile, they don't get their hands dirty and do the hard work when it comes to kids, but they're the first ones to open their fucking mouths and say something to their family about how you're parenting, okay? They're the great critics, rather. Narcissists are the great critics of you, okay? But God forbid you ever criticized or judged them, all right? See, they don't understand. It's a two-way street. The minute you come at me and you criticize and judge me, well, now you criticized and judge me. Now it's my turn to criticize and judge you. But see, a narcissist, they can't handle that. That's when they're going to run for the hills, or they're going to get in your face and intimidate you and yell and scream, okay? So, and then call you crazy. Covert narcissists, the mental card. They love to call you the mental card. Oh, you're crazy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's okay for them to criticize, judge you, but God forbid you ever criticize, judge them. Now you got to pay. What do I say about these narcissists when it comes to control? When they don't get that control, now they're going to make you pay for it, okay? They may not give you money. They may withhold money, all right? If they're the ones that hold the control with the money. They also, like I said, you could be married to a narcissist that's controlling your money, and when you piss them off, they're going to make you live on pennies, okay? So that's why you never, ever want to be under anybody's thumb when it comes to financial control. You always have to have your own thing, no matter who you marry or you get in a serious relationship. And I tell my daughter this all the time. I'm like, listen, whoever you end up with, you got to have your own thing on the side, because you don't know, today or tomorrow, something breaks down over here, you can't trust this person in the sense that they may try to take what you have and you won't have your independence, or they'll try to control you with money. So you guys, it's like this. They have this constant need for control. They control your money. They control how you parent. They control how you clean the house. They control how you cook. They control how you act when you're out in public. They'll tell you, oh, stop laughing so much. Oh, stop talking so much. They'll control everything that you do, control what you wear, your clothes. These are all, when you start to see somebody always telling you what to do all the time, you're dealing with a controlling person. And again, if you don't abide by what they tell you and they're very controlling, they're going to pay you back, either passive aggressively, if they're a covert narcissist, maybe slamming doors or disappearing or not returning your calls for days because they couldn't control you. This is all because they couldn't control you. Now they're going to pay you back, right? Because they're a control freak. Or if it's an overt or malignant narcissist or grandiose narcissist, they're going to try to control you, with fear, with yelling and screaming, okay, and being obnoxious with it to the point where you just give in, okay? These are all ways that the narcissist constantly needs to control, because they're like a little brat, okay? They're like a toddler that doesn't get their way, only they're worse than a toddler that doesn't get their way, because the narcissist is wicked with it. They're wicked, okay? They're really going to make you pay for when you go against them. So if you're dealing with somebody who can't just go with the flow, all right, and that if they don't get their way, they pay you back, passive aggressively, or they start yelling and screaming or shouting or fighting with you all the time, you're dealing with a controlling person that has to have their way. And is this how you want to live? That if they can't give in, see, this is the thing with narcissists. They don't want to give in. They don't want to compromise. They don't want to sacrifice. They don't want to meet in the middle. Narcissists don't want to meet in the middle. It's their way, and then they tell you everything you're doing is wrong. So that's why you got to do it their way, okay? Because they have tunnel vision. They don't want to see it from anybody else's point of view. It's their way, and that's it. They don't want to see it. They can see it, but they don't want to see it from anybody else's point of view because of that thirst and that need to control. They don't want to let loose that need for control. And why do narcissists all need control? Because they never felt like they had control growing up. They either came from a childhood where there was a lot of trauma, maybe yelling and screaming or violence, a lot of trauma, and they never felt as a child they had control, or they were the entitled child, the spoiled child that always got their way, okay, and never was controlled themselves and never had boundaries. So now this person has this constant need for that control. Why is that? Always look at the root of something, you guys. Always look at the root of a mental or personality disorder. It's because of their anxiety. Anxiety is a vicious, vicious thing, you guys. And I see it with my son who's got autism. He's severely autistic. You know, his anxiety, you've never seen anxiety till you've seen a nonverbal autistic kid and the frustrations that they go through and the anxieties that they live under. I never knew how fierce anxiety could be, all right? To the point where, you know, we had back and forth to hospitals and medications and everything. But, you know, getting back to anxiety, don't downgrade that anxiety because narcissists are filled with anxiety. They're fearful, okay? They're nervous people. They're fearful people. And that's why they have to have the control. They're fearful because they're afraid of getting hurt. They're hurt. They're basically fractured souls. You're dealing with a damaged, weak, cowardly person that, you know, is fearful, anxious, but they become, you know, they're bullies. A narcissist is a basic bully. So they're going to try to bully you because of that anxiety and fear and that need for control. They're going to try to bully you in order to get that control and ease that anxiety that's deep down within themselves, okay? We're going to the root of what's inside that narcissist. And what's inside that narcissist is fear and anxiety, okay? This is why they can't be at peace, because of that anxiety that's deeply rooted and within them, and they're damaged inside. Subconsciously, they're damaged inside. You know, a lot of them don't even realize how damaged they are because they can't self-reflect and think of themselves in a shameful manner. But they are, you guys. They are very, very fearful. And especially like the covert narcissist. A covert narcissist is so damaged. They are so damaged. How do I know? I got them in my family and I know what they went through. And I see, you know, what they went through in the trauma and how they turned out. And I see that, you know, they either became malignant narcissists where they're bullies and they can be violent, or they became passive-aggressive covert narcissists that never showed their hand in order to protect themselves. This is how I know narcissism so well, okay? Because I've been surrounded by it in my whole life. So this is why I could tell it. People say, oh, how do you know it so well? Because I've been surrounded by it, and everything I tell you, I've seen, all right? So, you know, stay away from people that constantly need to control everything, because the problem with somebody who always wants to control everything is you can't be your own person around them. You have to walk on eggshells. You have to be afraid of what you say, what you do. You know, they're always criticizing, judging you, putting you down because of that thirst for control, all right? And then what's going to happen is it's going to cause you to have that anxiety and depression and self-doubt and low self-esteem, and it's going to break you down. It's going to break you down. I was broken down. I was in a black hole, and I came out of that hole because you know what? Once you hit rock bottom, that's when you start to self-reflect, and especially if you're a person of faith and you really cling to your faith, that's when you know, you become grounded and you come back like a tiger, all right? Especially educated. An educated empath is a dangerous person in the sense that they're dangerous, that you can't manipulate them and they know their power, all right? So, you guys, all right? Remember what I told you. Look for these signs of control and get away from these narcissists, because they will make your life miserable because they're difficult. This is why you have no peace, because they're difficult, because everything's got to be their way. And if they don't get their way, they're going to punish you. Do you want to live with somebody who doesn't get, when they don't get their way, they're constantly looking to punish you? It's a horrible way to live. Believe me when I tell you, because I've lived it and I know what it is. So you believe it's better to be alone than deal with a controlling narcissist that's going to, always tell you what to do, put you down, whether it's overtly or covertly in a passive-aggressive manner. They're constantly going to put you down, judge you, criticize, and break down your self-esteem and break down your self-worth. Get away from this toxic demon, all right? And they are demons because they're not people of God. People of God follow the truth. Narcissists don't follow the truth, so they're not of God, just to clarify, okay? So I hope that helps you guys. If it does, hit the subscribe button. Please share. And I'm trying to talk fast because I always get interrupted over here. I'm sorry if my last podcast, there was a little noise in the background, but I was trying to podcast, when I had my son around. It's hard to talk, you guys. So, please share the podcast and have a great day. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at The Game EXP 123, and also on Instagram, The Game EXP 123. Okay? And have a great day.